Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos. Today I have for you a Monarch deck. I tried this deck before and it didn't work too well, so I changed a couple things and I was able to use it during stream, I think 2 different times. So I finally decided to just go ahead and make a video on it. For those of you that don't watch my streams, and you probably wonder where I've been because I haven't uploaded a video in quite a bit. The way work is right now, it's really hard for me to try to make videos, just because I'm going in so early in the morning and I'm coming home really late in the afternoon, so I don't have a whole lot of time to do what I usually do, which is build a deck, play test, get the replays, and then record it. So it's been a lot easier for me to just stream. So if you guys are not subscribed, I definitely recommend that you subscribe and you know get your notifications so that you can watch those streams, because I've been having a lot of fun with the streams, just interacting with people and stuff like that. But here's a video. So we're using almost every Monarch card that we have available right now. I don't have the other dark one because I don't like the fact that he can't attack this guy right here. I don't like the fact that he can't attack the turn that is normal or special summon. So it's already, the Monarch's already kind of slow right now with the support that they have. So this guy just didn't make the cut. But for the others, we have 2 Testalas, the Fire Monarch. As you know, if you summon this, you get to discard a random card from your opponent's hand. And if it's a monster card, you inflict the damage to your opponent equal to its original level times 100. We have 2 Monarch, the Fiendish Monarch. This Monarch has been used in a lot of different decks. Has a really cool effect, which is you get to banish 1 spell from your graveyard and you add a card with the same name as the banished spell card from your deck. So that's why we're running 8, what is that, 8 3 6 yeah, 8 spells, and we'll run at least 2 copies of each, so that we're able to, somebody just subscribed, thanks to whoever just subscribed, so that we can search for another one and thin the deck and stuff like that. 2 Dynatherium to help us tribute summon our monsters. You can special summon this with no cost, so it's just really good. 1 Treeborn Frog. I don't know how I feel about Treeborn Frog. There's really nothing that stays on the field except Escalation of the Monarchs, and it's a one-of, so it seemed like a good choice. But for some reason, every time I had Treeborn Frog, I also had Escalation of the Monarchs, so I would have to cut probably the frog and put in something else, maybe even a Marilease. We have 2 Grandmark, the Rock Monarch, which is the Earth. This card is so good, man. When you tribute someone, you target 1 set card on the field, destroy the target. Monster, spell, or trap, doesn't matter, you just destroy it. It's really good. He's the new one out of the 3. We've had the Stalos for a while, and also Anmar. We have 1 Berlinet, the Firestorm Vassal. The reason why I only went with 1 and 2 Dynatheriums is because you don't really have a lot of way of replenishing your sources in this deck other than Anmar. So discarding a card from hand, it's kind of a big deal. That's why I only have 1 Berlinet. I threw in 1 Relinkribo just for the memes. It protects a monster from being destroyed by battle if you banish it from the grave, and if you tribute it, you get to draw a card. A combo that I really like is if I have Relinkribo, I set Relinkribo and then I go for card advance, control my top deck, and then tribute my my Monarch so I can draw into whatever I needed. That's just one combo you can do. 2 Soul Exchange, 2 Enemy Controller, pretty standard. Econ Take is so good, especially when you have Escalation of the Monarchs, because if you Econ Take during your opponent's turn and then you tribute whatever you just took, you disrupted your opponent's entire play. And if you're summoning something like Grandmark, you get to destroy a face down. If you summon Testalos, you get to take another card from their hand, and if you have your Animal, you're just going to replenish that econ that you use for the econ take. It's just so good. That the econ and Escalation of the Monarchs is just devastating, as you will see in some of these replays. Sorry Pablo, you're going to be on there. 2 card advance, and then 2 Frost Blast of the Monarchs. This card lets you destroy a set card the same way as Grandmark, so either a spell, a trap, or a monster face down. And if you have both of them in the grave, you can actually banish both of them and destroy another set card on the field. I'm sorry, the banish effect has to be a spell or trap. Yeah. So you can banish either this and Frost Blast or the 2 Frost Blast for that effect. Those are we're running restart, by the way. I tried this deck with beatdown at the beginning, but because of the high number of tribute monsters that we have, you really needed something to help with consistency, so I went with the restart. Now some of these replays are very old, and by very old I mean not from today. I think they're like 2 or 3 days old, so I don't actually remember what goes on, and I don't even know if they're good replays, but we'll see. Pegasus 25 card deck, Sylvans. Oh yeah, this was the extra Sylvans. So we're gonna see him mill 2 with Martial Leaf. He's gonna control his top deck. I go Dynatherium, destroy the monster. The reason why I didn't want to go into Rock Monarch is because I didn't want to just waste the destruction effect. You know what I mean? I could get over the Martial Leaf with the 1600 attack Dynatherium. If he summons a monster, I can solo exchange it, and hopefully if he sets a card, I get to destroy that. So I'm trying to maximize the value of my Grand Mark. And I also have an Econ. So we're going to see Flower Knight. It's going to mill 1, which is a carry weight. A little bit unfortunate, but I decided to take the damage so that I can make this play. This is another kind of nasty play that, you know, was very predominant in the Gravekeeper meta. When your opponent has 2 monsters, you solo exchange one of them, and then you Econ tribute their monster to take the other one and tribute the monster. I decided to go for Testalos so that I could get rid of his resource in hand, and because I had Frost Blast, I could also destroy the face down. Luckily for me, this was not something like Ultimate Providence, because I would have destroyed my entire play. But at this point, I have him in top deck mode. He doesn't have a Rose Lover in grave, so he can't summon anything big. And he's basically just trying to mill a Martial Leaf to get out of the situation. Unluckily for me, I don't get another monster, so he has plenty of chances to top deck. Here we're gonna use Grandmark's effect. I thought this was a a Kamashrumu. Turns out to be a Rose Lover, so now I'm in danger of him drawing into a big Sylvan. He goes extra. This is the first guy I ever saw running extra Sylvans. But he top decks a tribute plant. Luckily for me, it's a Lotus Wayne, which does not have enough attack and can only mill 1 card. So he goes for 2 tries, trying to get the Martial Leaf, does not get it. He can't even crash. I pick up Firestorm. Barely net the Firestorm Vassal and win the game that way. He had way too many chances to top deck something, so I was very lucky that he didn't. Esther Phoenix, I don't actually remember this either. And then the last 3 replays happened not long ago during the Saturday stream when I was dueling everyone in the duel room. So if you guys would like to check how those duels went live, you can check the stream bot. Should be up by the time this video comes out as well. And we have 5,000 life points because this was in the PvP. This was not in the WCQ. Pretty good hand for him. I go for the Berlineth just so I can get 1 Frost of the Monarchs in the grave. I mean, I'm trying to summon something, and I'll be able to destroy that or force him to activate a mass change. That's what I was going for. I was like, I'll get to see whatever is in his hand, and I'll get to, you know, force his early mass change, go for the Econ, and destroy the Anki. I think that's what I do. Let's see. We're gonna activate the effect, target the card. He goes Forbidden Chalice on my monster. We banish the Gyoku and then he scoops it up. Welp. That was kind of anticlimactic. So yeah, he used Chalice on my monster, gave me an 800 attack boost, and then just scooped it up. Destiny Hero players. Omegalo. Alright, now we got... This is in the duel room. Duel against OEA. I think this is Pablo, but I'm not sure. Pablo, I'm not trying to call you out, man. It just was a good duel. I'm going first. So this is a lovely hand. I have Relink Rebo. I have Escalation of the Monarchs, and I have an enemy controller. This is the disgusting play that I was telling you guys about. We're gonna see Berlinet, Firestorm Vassal, and as soon as I saw the Hasty Flame Sphinx, I knew what I was going up against. No way I can let him get a Hasty monster on the board. So I immediately go for the Econ take. Because I'm tributing my Relink Rebo, I get to draw a card, which is nice. Then I activate my Trap Escalation of the Monarchs, which lets me, I don't know if I mentioned what this card does. Once per turn during your opponent's main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon a monster. So I tribute his Berlinet. He gets the effect, so he gets to see that I have an Armor and the Dark one after I drew it. And this was key. This is the reason why I won the duel. I discarded his Soul Exchange, so his turn was over at that point. I get to tribute summon my Animal and pick up another enemy controller. Since I have another Monarch, I can do the same play if he tries to summon anything. He goes for the Hate Grenade. Now that I see that he only has 2 cards, you need a minimum of 2 cards to do a Hasty combo. So I feel confident activating my Escalation of the Monarchs to summon Thestalos once again, discard a card from his hand, and there's nothing he can do at that point but take the L. Good game, Pablo. We have Ishizu next. This was a very interesting deck that my opponent was using in Violence. I feel like I was supposed to, you know, take a look at that archetype, and I didn't. So I'm definitely gonna be looking at it in the next couple days and maybe post a video on it. I don't know how much support they have. My opponent didn't get to show a whole lot just because of how broken I opened. We're gonna see Berlinet, and we're gonna see Excavation of the Monarchs yet again. So he equips, let's see, Violent Vanguard. When this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you draw 1 card for each equipped card that was equipped to this card. So that's actually not bad. And this also searches when sent to the graveyard. So interesting. I'm gonna set my Escalation and my enemy controller, and I'm gonna do the play during his turn. I make a mistake here. As I read earlier, Escalation of the Monarchs works only during the main and the battle phase. And I did my entire play during the draw phase or the standby phase, one or the other. Yeah, I did it during the draw phase, so I didn't get to immediately tribute for Violent Vanguard. It would have been better if I did this, and the reason why is because I had a higher chance of him of hitting his monster, but because I couldn't tribute right away, he gets to summon the monster. So now what I'm discarding is just the Equip play spell, I believe. Or do I discard another monster? I can't remember. Oh, I discarded the other monster, so yeah, never mind. Disregard what I said. He has a 2200 attack monster. Luckily for me, my Thestalos is bigger. He searched another Equip play spell, but I have the play once again. I have the loop. I have enemy controller, and I have a Monarch in my hand. This is just such a devastating combo for your opponent. He doesn't have anything to summon. I think he's holding on to 2 equip spells, but because of the Fairy Smile, he keeps, you know, surviving the duel longer. So here I go for the Econ, and then tribute right away, because if he had 2 equip spells, he would have been able to get over my monster. I wasn't sure. I was just trying to, you know, win the duel right then and there. Unlucky though, I don't pick up a monster, so he survives with 800, but he doesn't have anything to summon, so I just attack directly. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out Violence in the coming days, and if I see them good enough for a video, I'll definitely put that out. But this is gonna be the last replay against Thermal Soul. Yami Bakura in the building. And I prefer to go second with this deck. It lets you work into Soul Exchange. It lets you do, you know, so much more because you have an extra card. So if it's a soul exchange and they played a monster, you can go ahead and do that. Like, look, this hand going first would have sucked, but because I go second, at least I have the enemy controller and I can use card advance. I honestly thought that I had lost here because I was sure that this was a return of the Archfiend. Is that what it's called? Call the Archfiend. There you go. But at least I had the enemy controller to try to survive. I don't see him summoning anything, so I just take the 1500. And then I top deck the soul exchange that I put there with card advance. Hit the card that I thought it was Call the Archfiend. Unfortunately, I missed. Call the Archfiend was the other card. So I have to use my enemy controller for the Econ Cheese and Escalation of the Monarchs yet again. This is going to let me deck thin and search for another enemy controller. So for next turn, if he summons the Empress yet again, I have something, you know, to respond with. When I see him set a card, I go for Frost Blast of the Monarchs, and this was key because it forces him to activate the Archfiend's Roar prematurely, and that lets me go for the Econ Cheese and win the game. Yeah, Monarchs, it's just a fun deck right now. I still think they need a little bit more help. It's not super easy to get them out consistently. The deck bricks a lot, so you have to rely on restart. But yeah, overall, I think it's a very fun archetype. Definitely not a cheap one because you know, the two main ones are URs. But if you have the cards or you want to try it out, I definitely recommend it. It was fun to play with. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description, along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. I really appreciate that. And till next time.